I've been accused of censorship by people who don't understand that ridicule is not an argument, and it's not something that I want to engage with. Yeah, that's how quickly I'm going to block people if that's the way you act on my channel. I mean, just bam, it's going to be really insane. I'm here to promote conversation. I'm here to challenge other people's views and to have mine challenged. Not to have those who are challenged spend 9 minutes on a video telling me how stupid and pointless my video is because they're pissed at religion and they can't even for a moment fathom that someone who is religious is intelligent enough to articulate a defense of his views. I mean, I don't ask that you agree with me, guys. I don't even ask that you respect my views. What I do ask is that you respect me enough as a person to hear me, and I mean genuinely hear me, and respond with civility, and that's it. Are censor-happy young earth creationists beneficial or detrimental to Christianity on YouTube? How is it possible for me not to say detrimental? I mean, how could that be a good thing? I have no idea why this... I could not see how that could be a good thing at all. Obviously, it's a bad thing, regardless, really, of what religious or non-religious perspective you hold. You don't ultimately help your cause by ineffectively trying to silence your opposition. You do it by having better arguments.
Why, you little hypocrite. Here you are, telling people that it is a bad thing to silence your opposition. And yet that is exactly what you have done to me. You blocked me, and you removed at least some of my comments from your channel.
How is it possible for me not to say detrimental? I mean, how could that be a good thing?
You yourself are a censor, and you have censored me.
You don't ultimately help your cause by ineffectively trying to silence your opposition. You do it by having better arguments.
You have chosen to silence me, at least on your own channel, and you have never come up with any counter-argument to anything I've said. I called you an epistemological cripple in the comment that I know you removed, and I still stand by that in spite of your recent excuse.
The other issue that's been on my mind is with regard to my last question, question 5. You'll remember that I asked, what's more important to you, acquiring true beliefs about the world or not acquiring false beliefs? Now, I made the ridiculous move of assuming that people would understand that both of these things are implicitly bound up in the process of forming beliefs about the world. So the idea is that the very act of gaining true beliefs is in some sense itself an act of not gaining a false belief. And people have responded by telling me this, like I don't know, that they're actually both part of the same process. But see, I figured that was obvious. I mean, I knew that already, but my question was, which side appeals to you more? Which side stands out to you as being more sexy? Is there one side of the equation that takes precedence over the other? This is more or less an existential question, and the hope was for people to ask themselves this question, reflect, and see if any one side of the coin seems of a higher value as something to seek after. Okay, maybe both are of equal value, who knows, but responding that, they're both sides of the same coin misses the point of my question. I mean, I knew that already. My question was, which side do you sit most comfortably with?
Yeah, right. You knew all along that they were two sides of the same coin. It's time to remind you of what you actually said.
Let me repeat that. Which one of these is more important? Gaining true beliefs about the world, or not gaining false beliefs about the world? Those are in fact very different things.
If they are two very different things, then how can they be two sides of the same coin? The most generous interpretation of your question one can give is to say that you are asking which side of the coin you prefer, which is a rather silly question. The coin is the coin, and you get both sides no matter what. So I'm inclined to think you still don't grasp what it means to say that gaining supposedly true beliefs and avoiding supposedly false beliefs are two sides of the same coin. Consider this example. By believing in the Christian God, you automatically rule out alternatives like Islam's Allah, Buddhism, atheism, Hinduism, etc. And it's not just that you exclude other religions, for you also have to accept many other limiting propositions in order to fit such a God into this world. I would bet that you reject far more beliefs out of hand than an atheist does. In fact, I'd say you've locked yourself into a prison where you cannot allow yourself to accept modern science. I know you have no conception of modern neuroscience, and I'll bet you believe in creationism and our intelligent design also. And your language is also misleading. A statement that can be true or false is called a proposition, and propositions do not have to be automatically believed or disbelieved. You can simply say, "I don't know," and then explore the implications of what that proposition would entail if it were true. Once you accept any proposition as true, it necessitates disbelief in many more alternative propositions than it accepts. People don't notice this because most of those alternative propositions will seem too absurd to consider. And in the end, every belief you accept assumes both a positive and a negative role in your worldview. Also, it is simply presumptuous to talk of beliefs as being true or false in any absolute sense. In the end, we can only say that they work in some context. There are very few propositions that we can be sure are absolutely true. And you also stated this.
I feel that focusing too much on skepticism or the interest in not acquiring false beliefs leads to a sort of bitterness and an unhealthy approach when it comes to assessing particular things in life.
So, you feel that skepticism leads to bitterness. You thus dismissed the most important epistemological tool we all have based on a biased emotional observation of those who claim to use it. Your statement could only have been made by an epistemological cripple. You can object to being called names all you want, but blocking me will not answer the question for you as to whether you are an epistemological cripple or not. It seems that by blocking me, you have tried to silence a truth you do not wish to hear. So I'm telling everyone who watches this video to not let Veritas sweep this under the rug and pretend it was never said. I'd also like to know if there are others out there who have been blocked by Veritas and what they said just before they were blocked.